Well, the pecans are starting to drop, so how's the crop looking this year? Synop's Elizabeth Hoka caught up with our OSU Extension fruit and nut specialist, Dr. Becky Carroll, to find out more.
We're here now with Becky Carroll, our OSU Extension fruit and nut specialist. And Becky, we're starting to think about pecans now.
A little bit different season, but right now growers are monitoring their traps for pecan weevil. And although we kind of had an early emergence with all the rains in July, we had a lot of them come out of the ground early. And at that time of the year, those pecans are in the water stage. So if they're probing those nuts, they fall to the ground. But once the pecan transitions into the dough stage, when it's actually forming the kernel, which depends on what varieties, but our early maturing like Kansas, Pawnee, that starts about the middle of August. So once those weevil probe into those nuts, they can lay their eggs at that time. And we've got some nuts that are late maturing here on the station, like Caddo and Oconee, that are still in the water stage. So, you know, the egg laying hasn't occurred on those. But we're trying to keep any type of egg laying from those weevil from occurring, because that just keeps that cycle going. So the eggs are laid in the nuts, they hatch, and those larvae feed on the kernel. They chew a perfectly circular hole in the shuck and the shell, and they squeeze out, go to the ground, stay for 2 to 3 years, and then start that process all over again. So that's probably one of our biggest things that growers are thinking about right now.
Yeah, you mentioned nuts falling on the ground. Has that been more of an issue this year?
This year we have had a lot of questions about nut drop. And that could be that because we have a very large crop across the state. So sometimes pecan trees will just drop some of that crop because the crop is too heavy. And so it's not always a bad thing. If we have fewer pecans on the tree, the quality is going to be improved as well. But that drop can be from poor pollination. We had a lot of rain during pollination time in May. It could be from insect feeding, too much water, not enough water, too cloudy days. There's so many reasons that a pecan tree will drop pecans on the ground.
Yeah. So where are we kind of at in the cycle of things? Are we kind of on time?
Yeah, we're pretty much on schedule from what I'm seeing around here at the station and other locations. The nuts, the early ripening, they are filling out, so that kernel is almost completely filling that shell, and we want to have no air pockets in that kernel. We want to be completely filled with good pecan meat. And so that's the stage when we really need to be pushing the irrigation if we're not getting rainfalls. About 2 inches a week is what we'd like to have during that nut fill time period. And then once they get completely filled, no air pockets, we can back off on that irrigation schedule a little bit. But we don't want to forget about irrigation when it comes to shuck split time too, because without water, those shucks won't open at the right time. So we need to have good moisture to open up the shucks like they should as well.
Yeah, so some rainfall coming up would be good for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what about disease? Have we been seeing a lot of disease pressure?
Oh yeah, we've had so much rain early season this year that we've got pecan scab and anthracnose and all different types of diseases here at the orchard. And at the research station, we have lots of airflow. We're upland, and so we usually don't see a lot of disease pressure, but we've had just lots of ideal conditions for disease. And even with maybe 6 fungicide applications on some of our trees, we're still seeing some of that pecan scab on these. If it's not too bad, it may not affect the nut quality that much, but when you start getting a little more coverage on that shuck, the nut size will be affected. And if it's too much, those nuts may drop to the ground, or they just won't open when it's time to have shuck split.
Yeah, and you do have a field day coming up to talk about all of this stuff.
Yeah, we have a field day September 25th. It's in the morning. We have sign in about 9. The program starts at 9:30. We'll finish about noon with a meal from Ag Credit. And we'll touch on all different types of management things that pecan growers need to be thinking about, from tree spacing, nutrition, how to take soil and leaf samples, all different types of things.
All right, thank you, Becky. And for a link to that field day, just go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.